A Little Scare in a Big War by S.C. Turnbo. Now, war scares were frequent while the great Civil War was progressing. The people of both sides, who were used to caution, were always on the lookout for an enemy. Sometimes a little noise would put men to flight, as if Satan himself was following in their wake. In many cases, it was time to run, and in others, it was best not to run. But it was hard to judge in those days of blood and carnage and what was the best to do unless they could keep out of the way of the enemy. Now Mr. A. Brown said that he had a little experience of this kind once, and that was somewhat funny, which he related it in this way. During the war, while I lived on Bee Creek in Taney County, Missouri, I found a bee tree on Yocum Creek which puts in to the White River from the north side. Now the tree was 2 miles from the mouth, and it was near to where the country road crossed the creek. Now one day I concluded to rob the tree of the honey, but the Federals were in the country, and I was almost afraid to venture out, but I decided to go, and Bob Bell and a colored man who belonged to Wilson Yandell went with me. Now we had taken 2 vessels with us, one which held a half a bushel, and the other cedar pail which held 1/3 of a bushel. We crossed over the river at the mouth of Yocum's Creek, and proceeded on to where the tree stood, and we went to work and soon felled it, and had both vessels filled with rich honeycomb, when we heard horses' feet, like a party of cavalry was hurrying over the country road just mentioned. Now we did not wait to find out who they were, but grabbed up the vessels and beat a hasty retreat. Now, while we were getting away, the men began firing their guns and yelling, which had a tendency to accelerate our speed. But we got away with the honey and also our scalps. We never knew whether the party that gave us such a scare were friends or foes. Now, we left a lot of honey in that tree, but we never did go back to it any more.